Did you know that in the United States alone, around 800,000 children go missing each year? That's an alarming statistic. But what's even more unsettling is how, despite all the resources available today, some cases remain unsolved, leaving families in endless uncertainty. One such case that has haunted Australia for decades is the mysterious disappearance of the Beaumont children. On a sunny January day in 1966, 3 siblings vanished without a trace, and to this day, no one knows what happened to them. Their story captivated the public's attention, and it still sends chills down the spine. What makes this case so eerie? The complete lack of answers, and how it still resonates with the world, even after more than half a century. Let's dive into the chilling case of the Beaumont children and see if we can uncover any new clues about their disappearance. It was an ordinary summer's day in Adelaide, South Australia. On January 26th, 3 children, Jane, Arnna, and Grant Beaumont, set off for Glenelg Beach, a short walk from their home. The children, aged 9, 7, and 4 respectively, were looking forward to a fun day out. Their parents, particularly their mother, allowed them to go. After all, the beach was close by, and they were local children who had been there many times before. The day seemed typical at first. They spent time on the beach, playing in the sand and swimming in the water. But as the day wore on, they never came home. By evening, their parents grew concerned. And as the hours turned into days, hope began to fade. The children had vanished. Immediately after the children were reported missing, authorities began investigating. Some eyewitnesses came forward, describing a man seen talking to the children on the beach. A man in his 20s, dressed in a suit, was reportedly seen speaking to them. One account even suggested the man had walked with the children down the beach, but after that, they disappeared without a trace. What makes this encounter even more unsettling is the fact that no one ever saw the children leave with this man. No one knew who he was, and no one could remember any specific details. This mysterious figure, who is he? Why were the children with him? Was he a complete stranger or someone they knew? These questions remain unanswered, and the man's identity has never been confirmed. Over the years, various theories have surfaced regarding the children's disappearance. Was it a random abduction or something more sinister? Could the children have gotten lost or perhaps even wandered into the ocean? None of these theories has ever been fully proven. Several clues emerged during the investigation that seemed promising, but no leads ever truly panned out. For example, one theory suggested that the children had drowned in the ocean, but despite extensive searches of the water, no bodies were found. Other theories involve the possibility that the children were victims of a failed ransom plot, or that they had been taken by someone with a history of child abduction. The truth is, after years of searching and countless investigations, the Beaumont children remain missing. The Beaumont case took an emotional toll not just on the immediate family, but on the entire community. Their parents, particularly their mother, were devastated. The guilt, the questions, what could they have done differently? What did they miss? The mystery gnawed at the family for years, and they lived with the grief of not knowing what happened to their children. The community felt the impact as well. The case became a public tragedy, with news outlets covering it extensively. In a country like Australia, where things like this didn't happen often, the entire nation was in shock. How could 3 children simply vanish into thin air? Decades have passed since that fateful day in 1966, and the Beaumont children's case remains one of Australia's most enduring unsolved mysteries. But just because time has passed doesn't mean the case has been forgotten. In fact, new advancements in technology, such as DNA analysis and digital investigation methods, have kept the investigation alive. In 2013, South Australian police even announced that they were reopening the case, exploring new leads and revisiting old ones. Though there has been no resolution, the search for the Beaumont children continues, with the hope that one day answers will be found. Their story has inspired countless people around the world, and their faces are still remembered. They serve as a reminder of the pain that families go through when a loved one disappears, and the relentless pursuit of answers that often follows. The disappearance of the Beaumont children is not just a story of loss. It's a story that continues to haunt Australia and the world. The questions remain unanswered, and the mystery remains unsolved. Who was the man seen with them on the beach? Why did they never come home? Where are they now? These questions continue to linger, unsolved, but never forgotten. While we may never get the full answer, the case of the Beaumont children serves as a stark reminder of the dangers children face in a world that can often seem safe. Their disappearance reminds us to stay vigilant and to always protect the ones we love. Even now, decades later, the search for truth endures. One day, perhaps the mystery will be solved. Until then, we remember the Beaumont children and the pain their family still endures, hoping that their story will someday come to a close.